Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Good morning, Junie. I am going to have a little breakfast and work on the crossword while we are waiting for my partner in crime. I had to use a little lunch bag to bring my breakfast upstairs so I could have at least one hand free because I could loop this over my arm so I could have at least one hand free to hold the banister while my other hand was carrying my coffee. No mushroom in my coffee this morning, so I don't know how my brain's going to be working. But I am having Activia Black Cherry, and I am having a new to me applesauce from Walmart. It's raspberry lemonade. It's basically applesauce with raspberry puree and lemon juice in it. So I have found over the last week or so that this combo of thank you, Junie, for applauding my ingenuity. Uh, I found that this combo of prebiotic and probiotic is working for my tummy. If I have that, at least as part of one meal today. So that's what I'm going to be having. Let's see. So let's try this applesauce first because I already know how the yogurt tastes. We had some applesauce. My daughter accidentally got no sugar applesauce. Whoa. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it's like when you eat it right after something that's super sweet, it tastes even less sweet. So, not great. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is nice. The raspberry lemonade. The lemon gives a nice little kick to the applesauce. Yeah, it's nice. Mm-hmm. So, I'll get that again. Just like I was telling my daughter and son the other day, I have trouble remembering whether I liked something or not sometimes. Because I get like, because we order our groceries online and I'll go online and sometimes I wish there was a way under, our personal profile to leave notes of, no, I didn't like that frozen dinner, or no, I didn't like that flavor of yogurt or whatever, because it'll tell me unsweetened cinnamon applesauce. Good for you. Good for you. I like to have some sugar, but good for you. Actually, like I was saying, the unsweetened applesauce isn't terrible if I haven't eaten something super sweet right before it. Then I feel like if I eat a sweetened yogurt or whatever right before it, then the applesauce tastes really bland. But yeah, when I'm ordering my groceries, I because on the app it'll show right above the item, bought one time before, bought two times before, whatever. So what happens is I'll see that I bought it before. I'm like, well, I bought it before, maybe I liked it, so I'll buy it again. And then I'll buy it the second time and go, oh no, I don't like that. But then a few months down the road, I'll be looking for something different to buy, and I'll see I bought it two times. I can't remember the last two times that I bought it because it's been months. And I was like, well, if I bought it twice, I must have liked it. So then I'll buy it a third time. And it's still not like it. And if I make my notes, I tried making notes like in a notes app or something like that, but I never remember to look at that when I'm doing making my grocery list. So let's see. Let's see. April 20th substance and a hint to this puzzle's theme. Um April 20th. So April 20th is 420. So would that be THC maybe? Because I know one down is the something. Because the Big Lebowski protagonist. I've never seen the Big Lebowski, but I think isn't he the dude? I think the guy in the Big Lebowski is the dude. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it finally took my answer. So one down, I think, is the dude. Yeah. Sometimes I remember things about movies that I have never seen just because they end up in the cultural zeitgeist, as it were, in the common vernacular. Let's see. So four across, device inside the wheel. Not sure what that is. I would say spoke, but that's one too long. Let's see, 10 across, guitarist needs. I want to say picks, but I don't think they just spell it with a C. Well, it could be pick, Pick. Let's try that. Ah, that was it. Wow. Well, hello. So nice of you to join us.
I am absolutely knackered, as our
Mm,
friends over the pond would say. I, for some reason, melatonin, I think, might actually secretly be the devil. Um, I last night I was like, oh, I have to go to work, or not go to work. I have to do the stream tomorrow, and then I have to go to market, and I have to be at market a little bit early today to work on some stuff and to make up some hours from the. I missed like one market, I think. Um, And so I went back into the room at like 10:30ish. I took some melatonin around 10:45. The melatonin takes about 30 minutes to kick in. So I should have been asleep by like 11:30, which I guess that I was. Wayne stayed up later than me, and I specifically remember I was having some sort of nightmare, and then I like felt him like grab my hand and like wake me up, and he's like, it's okay," because I was having a very bad nightmare.
oh no.
Yes, I like fully that one. I do not remember what it was whatsoever. Like I do not recall what the nightmare was. I just remember like trying to get away from something and then being woken up.
Hmm.
And then I how do I this? Um, and then
Just took away my crossword.
I did. I did. And then the whole rest of the night for me was just nightmares and like waking up on and off. And then I have a sleep mask that has headphones in it. And I remember my mask cutting off, and I was like, oh, I guess my YouTube video stopped and it just didn't replay. Let me like keep trying to go to sleep instead of turning over and like waking myself up with my phone. And
Uh
so I
huh.
kept trying to go to sleep, and there was the most recent nightmare from last night that I remember was we were in some sort of like a school building, a building with lots of like different rooms for different things, and some of them offices, some of them not. And there's like essentially like a Chucky doll that was like kind of chasing and tormenting us. But
Oh
we,
no.
yes, but we did something that like appeased him. So he was chill. And we were hanging out and trying to solve something because there was another problem that we were trying to solve that we need like paperwork for or something. And then we were taking pictures. I think we were like raising money for something or something. And then we were taking pictures. And I went to take a picture of one of the signs. And then I immediately remembered, oh no, my flash is on my phone. And so then the Chucky doll is like, what are you doing? Turns around immediately, the flash, and his eyes like dilate and go red, and he's all evil again. And he's chasing us all over the building. I'm like, oh my God. Ugh, it was awful. So it was that. And then I kept just like waking up. And so I got next to no sleep. I am absolutely exhausted.
And you're blaming this on the melatonin?
Yes, melatonin causes nightmares. I'm so serious. I have the most vivid nightmares. Like anytime that I come on here and I'm like, yes, this is the nightmare that I had when I'm talking on stream, is because I took melatonin.
Well,
Like
let's stop taking it.
but melatonin knocks me out. Like it doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's very bad. Because sometimes melatonin will just knock me out and I'm just gone until the AM.
I don't think you should take that chance.
But I
And from what I remember, you sleep pretty well. So
I used to sleep well, and then I don't know, I reached the age of 30 and my body stopped working. It's from all of that missed sleep as a child when I was like, let me
um,
sleep in. And you're like, no, you have to get up and go to school or whatever.
you did not miss sleep as a child. You crazy woman. Are we ready to get this thing on the show, on the road?
I think so, but I'm also going to be ordering a coffee on DoorDash because we are out of coffee.
You're not ordering a cup of coffee on DoorDash. Ma'am, they're going to charge you $30 just for a cup of coffee.
There, it's going to be more than I want, but let's find out how much it is.
You don't need coffee that bad. Have a cup of tea.
I don't want tea, I want coffee.
I know you want coffee, but you don't want to spend $30 for a single cup of coffee through
It's
DoorDash.
not going to be $30. My normal iced caramel coffee that I get from McDonald's is $5.
And then they're going to charge you $25 to deliver it.
Let's see what it says. No, I don't want to add anything. Continue.
People toss some
Okay.
sense into her.
Let's see. $12. That's like buying a Starbucks coffee. It's $12. That is like if you walked into if you breathed in a Starbucks, you lose $12.
All right. You're a grown woman. Do what you're going to do.
I'm also going to double check Dunkin' because I know that. Actually, let me check my McDonald's app because I specifically want the caramel coffee. That's the only coffee that I drink at McDonald's. But the last couple times I went to McDonald's, our McDonald's, they've been out of caramel.
Well, that's a bummer. Okay.
Ronald, no, stop. No, I don't.
That's right. Why not have a bag of coffee delivered?
Stop.
And then you have
No.
coffee for all week.
Because I don't want to do that. Also, I'm about to go to the farmer's market and we have a local coffee vendor at the farmer's market, so I can buy coffee from them there.
So then have a tea.
Or I could just get my
And
McDonald's
who
Starbucks coffee.
is going to answer the door when they deliver this coffee?
Wayne is here.
Well, then if Wayne's there, Wayne can make you a tea.
But I don't want a tea, I want a coffee. And here we are, back to the beginning.
And you're sure you don't have any coffee whatsoever in your house?
I'm sure. Thank you, Ronald. JK,
Ronald, do not enable her.
I'm checking to see if my McDonald's has caramel. Because they've been out of caramel for like 2 weeks, which is wild because they get trucks at least once a week. So what are you doing, McDonald's?
And Evie Mux is lying to me. Ronald and Junie are in the chat and it's telling me we only have one viewer.
One viewer, yeah. Wild. Ooh, well, since I'm ordering from McDonald's, maybe I should get Shamrock Shake. That defeats the purpose.
It does. I mean, if you're ordering from McDonald's, at least get breakfast.
I'm just afraid the Shamrock Shakes are going to be gone before I can have another one. I've only had one this season.
Oh, poor baby. I haven't had one yet.
They're so good. Okay, I'm going to order my $12.
I don't think I had one either. I mean, I don't think I had one last year either.
We should maybe start the stream.
We should. I was waiting for you to stop your nonsense about ordering coffee. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see it.
Yeah, you never thought.
I'm just going to pretend that you are not spending a fortune for a single cup of coffee to be delivered to your house.
Once again, it is no more expensive than a Starbucks coffee.
But the environment, they have to drive over here to bring you just that coffee. How about order some breakfast?
Yes, I am creating jobs in America right now.
Oh Lord, let's get this started. I can't with you. I also need to figure out what to do so that I don't have to remake the banners every time.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think maybe if you duplicate the studio, then all the banners will be there and then you just change the name or something.
Maybe. Or if we like create one studio for the month, maybe, and then just can you alter the name once the studio is created?
I think so. The whole studio thing, I don't know how it works.
Yeah. Well,
We'll have to look more into it.
let
But
me. Oh, does that mean I need to re-upload all the music? No, we've got Busy Track and Jane Street, so the music's still there.
I do not see. What do you mean busy track? What are you talking about?
So
I
when you okay, so when you go into the music, it
uh
gives
huh
you its default list of music. You have
uh
to. Are you looking at the music right now?
huh.
You have to go into Edit List, and then under there, the first ones that you'll see will be my uploads, which are the ones that I put in there. So you can see Busy Track and Jane Street, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So you
Well,
have to highlight.
I don't see a name. Wait a minute.
If you
Ah,
scroll, it should pop up. But you
okay.
have to highlight those and then fully unhighlight everything else because this is what they are showing on the main page. Once you do that, you press done and it puts them in but doesn't get rid of all the rest of them.
So, which one is our music for today?
So busy track is the pastry music.
Okay, can't hear you now.
Oh my, is the volume too loud?
Okay,
Still
no, you're fine now. It,
wigged out.
yeah, for a second.
Okay.
So, Busy Track is the starter music, and Jane Street is the rock music.
No, Jane Street is the stream music. I still have not found rock music that I find suitable.
Okay.
So, since we're starting the stream, this is what we have.
Okay.
Turn on your home PC.
What are you talking about?
Ronald, he said this is weird watching you on my phone, which I meant to comment on a minute ago. I watch 90% of my YouTube and videos on my phone. So I don't, it's wild. Um,
Oh, I watch, to be honest, I watch a good 90% of my videos on um my TV, my 60-inch in my bedroom.
nah, because I'm usually like walking around or not. Like, I, if I'm in the bedroom, I don't have a TV in the bedroom. I had the projector in the
Okay,
bedroom for a little
while
while.
we
Oh,
start, thank you, Ronald. Thank you, Ronald. Watching things on my phone unless it's an emergency? No. But we'll talk about
okay,
that in
let's
a
get
minute.
started so that I can explain myself.
Yeah, since we have nothing else to talk about. Give me 2 seconds.
So you cut me off and then said, "Give me 2 seconds." I was talking and saying something, and you cut me off and said, "Hold on, let's get
It
started,"
wasn't. No,
and then said, "Give me 2 seconds."
no, no. Where's the first one?
The first
Oh, darn
what?
it.
What are we doing?
Okay. I'll just have to remember it off the top of my head. Let's see how well that works. Are we ready? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday morning live edition of the Conversation Chair. This is a live stream, or you could be watching it later, in which case, check us out live next time. But this is a live stream where we just natter on about everything and nothing. This is a way for me to keep up with my daughter who doesn't live here anymore. I am Dani, the lethargic lass, and this is my partner in crime, aka my wee bairn,
Artemis the fatigued for real.
for real. And as I said, if you haven't watched this before, we talk about yarn, we talk about crafty things, we talk about media. We don't have a niche. We are your audio ambiance. We are your background sound. We are here to keep you company while you are washing dishes, doing the laundry, running after those little rugrats that you birthed. And if you need somebody to stay with you because there is a crazy person chasing after you, because you reported the fact that he killed his sister to the police. He killed her for the money because he wanted to marry off her ghost. Then we will sit with you until your Chinese hellhounds show up to stand guard.
And is that
And
your real life?
no, that last bit was not my real life, unfortunately. That last bit was part of a new series that I just started reading. The first book of it is the series is called Ghost Cupid. The first book is called Tie Me Tie 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 Me Not Knot.
Okay, cute.
And the author is Allie Brahms, which I just discovered is one of the pen names of somebody, or I don't know if maybe that's her real name and the other thing is a pen name. But I've read her books before because she
Mm.
also writes Mail,
Oh, I remember you telling us about that before.
AJ Sherwood, and I liked those books. So I'm enjoying this series. I'm on the second book now. So very good series. And I think it's on audio.
Also, just a heads up, I have my dog in here today, and she is cranky. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on.
So I am having coffee, regular old coffee with Italian sweet cream creamer, no mushroom bump.
I will soon have coffee.
And I'm having my probiotic yogurt.
Yum.
And you will soon have coffee because of your nonsense and shenanigans.
If you want to know about the nonsense and shenanigans, and you're watching this after the fact, actually, no. I think we put up the whole stream, right?
Yeah, I've decided that I'm not going to, I've edited a couple of them and then I've decided, you know what? I'm not going to bother.
Okay.
It's not worth the trouble.
So y'all should know.
But what were we talking about right before this introduction? I already
forgot.
Watching
stuff on your phone. So I watch stuff on my phone because if I'm in the bedroom, so starting from the beginning of my day, if I'm in the bedroom, I don't have a TV in the bedroom, so I watch it on my phone. I don't. My laptop usually stays in here in the office, even though it is portable. But I don't. If I move the laptop and I'm using it somewhere else, and then I need to get the charger, and then I move the charger, and then I have to stream in here, and I have to bring everything back. So the laptop usually stays in here. So watching in my bedroom, and then I get up and I usually watch stuff as I'm like walking around getting ready, because like some of my clothes are in here in the office, some of my clothes are in all that stuff, and so I'll be walking around watching stuff on my phone. I like to watch stuff while I'm walking the dog, take the dog out, so I'm watching on my phone, and then in the living room, I do have a TV in the living room, but it's not connected to anything because the laptop isn't here. I could bring the TV out to the living room and connect it to or I could bring the laptop out to the living room and connect. But again, we're back with the I don't want to move my laptop everywhere situation, which is also why I
don't have a smart TV that can just use Wi-Fi to get onto the internet.
Wayne has a smart TV. I have my TV, which is in the office, which is not a smart TV, which is why my laptop is hooked up to it. Speaking of which, let me move.
I mean, the TV in the living room.
Yeah, the TV in the living room is Wayne's TV. It sits at his desk because he didn't want to, because we learned from our previous apartments, we don't want him to have his whole game set up in the bedroom because I will be asleep. I will almost always be asleep before him, and he'll be playing games and waking me up. And so his gaming setup is in the living room. And so that's his big smart TV in the living room.
So the smart TV is basically a monitor for his console. It's not a TV.
Yes, I will use it like when I'm home and he's not home. I'll use it to watch TV sometimes. But I mean, I still like 90% of the time I'll come home, walk the dogs, sit on the couch, and I'll just be watching stuff on my phone.
Too small.
I was watching.
Give it 20 more years, and your eyes are going to say no.
I was watching YouTube on my VR headset yesterday. You can put it on and there's a browser on the VR side, like open up the browser, logged into YouTube or whatever, and you can cast like a huge screen up into the room. So it's like, it's got pass through on so I can see the rest of the space that I'm in. So I can see my living room, but it'll cast a big screen up as if it's up on the wall essentially. And I was watching that way and that was fun. But I also like, I don't want to. It's the IMAX problem of there's stuff going on over here. Now there's stuff going on over here. Now there's stuff going on over here. And I don't want to do that. I'll put you on my phone while I make breakfast or go into the other room briefly, but that's just to listen while I'm out of the room with the computer. Huh. I can watch
Yeah,
shorts or something.
that's what I do. I'll put like if we're running late and you're already doing the thing,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll put the stream on my phone and take it downstairs while I'm making my coffee, just in case you say something out of pocket. So I can
When have I ever?
so I can respond to it when I come upstairs.
Ronald says I can watch shorts or something like that for a few minutes on my phone, but that's like while I'm waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I really don't watch. I'm kind of like Ronald. I really don't watch anything on my phone unless I know, Ronald.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. We're sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to put your information all on blast or whatever, but that was
But we're sorry.
absolutely rude. That was absolutely
Yeah.
terrible.
But yeah, I only watch stuff on my phone if like I'm going to Aunt Terry's this weekend
Mm-hmm.
and I will she can't watch TikToks anymore. She refuses to make a TikTok account. And so she can't watch the TikToks that I send her anymore. She
Mm-hmm.
used to be able to watch them even though she didn't have a TikTok account, and now she can't.
Yeah.
And so, um, I will take if there's something especially funny, I will save it, and when I next time I'm with her, I will show it to her on my
Like
phone.
on your phone, yeah.
Yeah, and her sisters do the same thing because apparently we're the only ones chronically online. She refuses to be online
Mm-hmm.
except for absolutely necessary things. And so she just does not want to get caught up. I mean, I guess I respect it. I
Mm-hmm.
understand. She doesn't see anything fun about being online. She doesn't get
Which
the
is
attraction.
wild.
And plus she has relatives who have gotten into all out wars on Facebook. So all she feels, she doesn't see the connection side or making friends side or anything of
Mm-hmm.
being online. All she sees is everybody arguing and being rude to each other.
Yeah. I could
And
understand that.
so she has no, and she's outgoing enough that like she's the person who knows all her neighbors. Every time I go over there, she tells me about everything that has happened in it, not just like you know how our neighborhood is set up, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not just the house across the street or the house catty corner over here. She knows the people all the way around in a 360 radius around her house. All these streets down here, all
And
these streets. She knows all their names. She knows their business. She knows when people have moved out and somebody else has moved in. She knows who's living.
literally
She
until
knows
until
all
the
of it.
hurricane happened, I had not even spoken to the neighbors that are beside me. There's
Hmm.
us, there's our neighbor downstairs, and then there's our neighbor across the street that pissed me off because they let their dogs off the leash. I had never even spoken to the neighbor that is to the right of me.
The last time I made any kind of
Ooh,
speaking or overture to a neighbor was when Miss Haley lived to the left of us. I have not bothered to learn any of the neighbors since then. I vaguely knew how some of the neighbors simply because when there were neighbors here who had kids who were the age of you guys and you guys played, then I kind of knew them by sight just so I knew whose house my kids were going to.
I got a call from DoorDash, but it doesn't look like he's at my house. Oh no.
They got a call to tell you that they don't have your caramel coffee. But yeah, so I show her stuff on the phone. That's the only reason I watch stuff on the phone. Although I remember 20 years ago 20 some years ago when I had my first little, this was when portable devices first started really getting to be a thing. And I had my first little Palm Pilot,
Mm-hmm.
and it had a physical keyboard that took up this much space.
Yes.
And so I had that much space for a screen, and I watched a whole ass movie on a screen that big
Yep.
on the way to work just because I could. I was
Yep.
fascinated by the fact that I could download this whole ass movie and watch it on a device in my hand while I was in the car. I was fascinated by the fact that I could do that because it was new. And so I did it. I would never do that now unless I was just desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe if we were on a long flight or something and there was nothing on the in-flight entertainment. And even then I would have my tablet, which is
Nope.
this big. So I'd watch it on my tablet. I wouldn't watch it on my phone.
See, I don't have any tablets. The last iPad that I had is finally like gotten to the point where I can't do anything on it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my phone and I have my laptop, and then I've got my VR headset that I'll watch stuff on occasionally. But I don't wanna. I also just realized I was like messing around with the settings in the VR, and the VR headset has a travel setting. Where's my hand? A travel setting, so that
Mm-hmm.
you can use your VR headset in a moving vehicle. And it showed like
Oh,
a
oh
guy.
no,
Yes, but it showed a guy
Calm
sitting
it.
in an airplane. It showed a guy
Yeah.
sitting in an airplane, and he's like moving things around. He's a businessman doing
Yeah.
business files on a plane, and I'm like, who is gonna sit with their VR headset on an airplane?
That's too big and bulky to want to take on an airplane.
Yeah, because it has to be your carry-on, so it's gonna take up. Also, it just occurred to me because I want to bring this big bag that Wayne got me on the cruise. I want to bring it with me, and if we get on one of those tiny ass spirits. Oh yeah, I gifted you a game on VR because Ari and I tried it and it's on sale, and I don't know how long it's on sale for. So I gifted it to, like, we played it and we realized that we really really like it, so I just gifted it to you. It was like $7 something. But if we get on one of those tiny ass Spirit airplanes, and I've got to squeeze my big
Please
bag
don't
under the
don't jinx us.
chair.
Don't jinx us like that. Weren't we saying that we were gonna pool our money and take a
Well, I'll
train
drive.
or drive?
If we pool our money, I will drive us. Hopefully it's
'Cause
just in South Carolina. I don't want to drive to Florida, but I will drive us because those plane rides are terrible.
well, we need to figure out from your father which, because he didn't he tell us once which. Yeah, he told us which ship we're going to, and I
Yes,
think
it
we are
is.
going out of Florida. I did send you the thing,
Yeah,
and we
I'm
are
pulling
going
it
out
up.
of Florida.
No,
So
I
no
mean,
driving to Florida for us.
we could take a train though,
We could take a train.
and I'm sure Wayne would appreciate that a lot because he hates
Oh, there's
trains.
Ari chipping in.
At least at least 3 to 4 drivers. If we could rent a van, and all of us ride in a church van down to Florida.
We did that once, and I thought that was much better than the plane.
And Ari's in Georgia, so if I can make it from here to Georgia, that's 4 hours, and then pick up Ari. Ari takes over and drives from Georgia to Florida. We got it. We got it. Earl says they have 69 nice jobs posted with the word analyst, and it's at his company. So why? Rude. That is terrible.
That is rude.
And they gave no explanation. Also, make sure you're signing up to get your checks.
He's a grown man. He knows what to do.
Yes, but still. Because literally when we were talking about Party City closing, I was talking to my managers and I was like, what do you guys think you're going to do? And they're like, I don't know. I'm panicking. I don't know what job I'm going to get, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to sign up for unemployment until I can figure it. And they're like, oh, I completely forgot about unemployment. Like my full manager, she completely forgot that she was just panicking about finding another job. The unemployment checks.
Well, unemployment. Well, some states do a card, but you know.
Neither have I, Ronald, until now.
Oh, so he's never applied for unemployment. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've done it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, they gave you 6 weeks severance.
A
Nice.
job that gives you severance? What is this?
I'm
What?
saying.
Never heard of such.
I'm saying.
Oh, but he's the international man of mystery. He
Mm-hmm.
works those white collar jobs where they give you severance pay.
Fancy.
Not us blue collar laborer service workers down here who are lucky if we have saved up vacation that they have to pay out to us.
Mm-hmm. Treat the first week as a vacation. You need some time off, Ronald. Treat it as a vacation and then go looking for jobs. That's what I'm saying. 6 weeks severance.
Yeah, because when you have
Ronald, I need to text Wayne. I think my coffee.
yeah, since you have, I mean, unless you just have pressing financial situation, treat at least a week or so of vacation, because when, at least here in this state, when you are on unemployment, you are required to apply for 2 jobs per week and show them proof that you applied for 2 jobs per week. So that just being unemployed stressed me,
Mm-hmm.
you know. That's why I am looking forward to retirement. I'm not trying to rush my life, but 2035 cannot come soon enough.
Mm.
Then I'll be retirement age. And then I can actually be at home and not constantly feel guilty that I should be doing something else. Because when I was working, I didn't have time to do stuff. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
worked in an office, I didn't have time to do stuff at home and take care of the house. I didn't have the energy or the time. And then when I they gave you a whole ass bag for a cup of coffee.
They did. And it has to, because the DoorDash things have to be sealed across the top to make sure that no one like tampered with your drink or anything. So they're sealed at the store. Because I remember this from when I worked. Ma'am, this is not your coffee.
A whole ass bag for a cup of coffee. Please
Yep.
take that out of my sight. I can't. I can't. But yeah, when I was working in an office, I was always like, oh, if I could just be home, then I would have the time and energy to, you know, clean this and do that. And then, but then when I was unemployed, you don't really have that time. You can't relax because you have to
Mm-hmm.
constantly be online looking for jobs and finding something appropriate to apply for, because you can't just slam your application at anything. Find something appropriate to apply for so you can continue to get your
Your
unemployment
check.
check. And so that's a job in itself.
Yeah, that's why I was trying so hard to just find another job as soon as my
Yes.
job closed because I didn't want to have to deal with unemployment. I've never
Yes.
had to yet, and I didn't want to.
Trust me, I'd rather just have a job than constantly be trying to supposedly be at home relaxing
Mm-hmm.
and getting unemployment, because that was not relaxing at all.
LinkedIn has a new game. I'm in my mind is still blown that LinkedIn has any games. Period.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen that Lil Snack has a new game?
Okay, but last time Little Snacks had a new game, it was Ven,
Okay, well no, this
and
was
that
better
pissed
than
me
Ben.
off.
It's just a trivia game.
Oh, okay, I like trivia.
It's just a trivia game. It's there's this British game called The Floor. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but this
Mm-hmm.
is almost like a video version, a simplified video version of The Floor. Oh,
Okay.
you play. Oh, that's right. I missed you guys playing Little Snack on the stream last night.
Y'all play Little
Right,
Snacks on the
that was
stream?
when I stepped out, because the stream is right around the time that I get done working in here, and then I get up and go downstairs and get my dinner and stuff. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, either I try to watch the stream and miss what's going on. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
don't get any food, or I go get food and I miss chunks
Miss
of
the
the stream. So
stream.
this time I chose to get some
Feed yourself.
food. Yeah, because they were doing food guessers, so I'm like, well, I'm not good at food guessers, so maybe I can hurry up and run down and get my food and come back up. Because I also watch Twitch on my television.
Ooh, you know what would stop you from missing parts of the stream?
Yeah. Okay. Stop. Yes, I could do that, but I didn't.
My dog is obsessed because I think this McDonald's bag smells like the McDonald's building. That like smells like all the food, and so she's
Even though there's
wondering
no
where
food
the
in the
yeah
bag.
she's wondering where the food is. She's sniffing into the bag, wondering where the food is. Okay. Do we want to actually talk about things in the order that we talk about things? Do we have any life updates?
I don't have any life updates. I already updated our crew on the fact that I'm having my little prebiotic, probiotic snacks, and that seems to be working for my tummy.
That's good. I keep meaning to get some probiotics for Wayne because he also has tummy issues.
Yeah, if he likes yogurt, so far the Activia yogurt is working for me.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
that gets that's for me because I was taking the Ollie gummies
Hmm.
and those work for me fine too, but you still want to eat some like prebiotic foods to feed the probiotics, and I feel like this is killing two birds with one stone
Okay.
because I get my calcium from the yogurt, and your prebiotics are like greens, greens, bananas, other fruits and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And so those are foods you need to eat anyway.
Hmm.
So if I steer my diet toward those foods to get the prebiotics and then eat the probiotic yogurt, then
Speaking of diet stuff, sorry, my YouTube has just been inundated with people saying you have to try keto, girly, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna
no,
enjoy trying keto, but it's
no.
like you have to do keto, girly, and I'm like, I
Oh,
want
I hate
to.
this time of year where my body can't decide whether I am cold or whether I am
Hmm.
hot. Have you seen me take this sweater on and off like 15 times?
Meanwhile, I'm gonna stay in the city all day. I'm gonna show up at the market today in the city, and they'll be like, "Aren't you hot?" And I'm like, "No, because y'all keep the AC on the whole time." But yeah, everything has been telling me do keto, and I'm like, I don't, I want to eat bread.
Your father does keto on and off, but he
Hmm.
doesn't stick to it.
Yeah,
And I've given up lecturing him on the fact that you shouldn't, because
bounce back and forth. Yeah.
I mean he's the one who's lost weight and I haven't, so I'm not gonna get on him. Well, of course you wouldn't see it, Ronald.
Aren't you a skinny mini? Last time I saw a
He
picture of
he
you.
is. He doesn't need keto. That's why you're not seeing it, Ronald. But yeah. So I mean, I can't really lecture him since I am overweight myself, but at least I do know. I know in my head all the things you're supposed to do,
Hmm.
supposedly. Right now they're not working for me, but I know the things that you're supposed to do. Yeah, but a dad bod doesn't need keto, Ronald.
I think I keep picturing Ronald as a combination of his profile picture and also his VR avatar. Because I see more of his VR avatar than I do of his actual his actual self.
But yeah, he because he'll do keto and he'll go gung ho on keto for like 3-4 weeks,
Hmm.
and then he'll stop. And it's because you don't really want to be on keto because you
Yeah.
like sweets.
Yep. Yep. That's my problem too. Is
You
I
need
like
to
sweets
learn.
and
You need
I
to
want
come up with
cookies.
a way to eat that lets you have the things that you want to have,
Hmm.
just in moderation. But he's one of those people that wants to just like, okay, I've decided I'm going to diet. I'm going to go hardcore,
I can't do that.
and then he'll go hardcore for 3 or 4 weeks, and then he'll give it up.
Hmm. Yeah, Wayne and I are trying to start starting next week once he's finally out of because he is still dealing with all of this stuff from having the flu.
Mhm.
I think I'm properly out of it at this point, except for like a little bit of a cough. But he's still dealing with a lot of cough because he also has asthma, so he was dealing with it worse than me.
Mhm.
But starting next week, once he's pretty well out of it, achoo, bless you. Stop sticking your nose into stuff, and maybe you'll stop sneezing. But we're gonna start next week. We're gonna start just walking on Tuesdays on our day off together. We're gonna start walking and maybe add some days in after that. And
That sounds good.
yeah, and I'm still playing Beat Saber, basically like every other day.
Hmm.
ish, something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I had a whole week where I was like, yes, I'm exercising. And
mhm,
then my body said, nope. So I don't know. I was just thinking this morning, I need to get back on that train because it's already March. September will be here before you know it. And then I got to walk all around that airport and cry.
mhm. Well,
Unless,
I mean,
unless,
unless we get a van.
unless we get a van.
I am so serious about this van idea. If I can drive down to pick up Ari and then Ari takes over, we'll pick up Ari and Tyler and then Ari takes over and we'll go down. Yes. Absolutely.
We'll have to work on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think the only other thing I wanted to talk about was I talked to you briefly about this because we're recording videos today, which everybody keep an eye out in April. We're gonna have some pre-record videos coming out, and some of them are average because we're still kind of figuring things out. Some of them are absolutely hilarious, if I do say so myself. Um,
Okay. Comedy gold, huh?
Comedy gold, comedy platinum.
Okay.
Anyway, Men's Warehouse is going pretty well. I have most of what I do is renting out suits and tuxes for prom. Because that is the thing that I picked up on the fastest, and that's the thing that is happening the most right now because we're in prom season. So we'll have guys come in, and it's so funny to see the two like kind of different kinds of guys that come in to get their prom outfits. There will be someone who comes in and he's like, "Yeah, ma'am, absolutely the fuck not. Stop! Oh my gosh, this
The
dog,
vulgarity.
bitch,
Faux outrage. The vulgarity.
bitch. What are you even? Give me 2 seconds."
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The vulgarity. Okay. I somehow have managed to lose all of my tape measures. So I'm sitting here trying to measure my project that I'm working on with the Measure app on my phone, which, it's better than nothing, but it's like, okay, yes, I've moved farther away. I just want a dot. Can you give me a dot? And then come over here. I need to move farther away. Just tell me the measurement. That's not 2 inches. That's 1 inch. That's what I thought. The app is cool in theory, but okay, what are you talking about, Rose?
Okay,
Let's see. You're taking the hubby to airport at noon, so I won't be here the whole stream. We understand.
we're
You have
stopping
a
at
lot.
30 anyway.
You'll be here alone and jobless. Oh, poor baby. I feel so sad for you.
I mean, you'll be able to play with us at 7 tonight, playing some Beat Saber, or the new game that we just got.
Okay, so you were telling us about Men's Warehouse.
Yes, it's so funny to see the two different kinds of guys that come in to get their suits. Oh, noon your time, which means it'll be later, earlier, later. No, he can't play tonight. Oh, we'll catch you next week. But there'll be like one type of guy who comes in and he's like, yes, I want a black tux. I definitely want a bow tie. I have my own shoes, so I don't have to worry about that. I want these cufflinks, and he like kind of knows what he wants. We'll measure him. He'll try on the try on clothes, and we're locked in. And then there's the other kind of guy who's like, he'll come in and it's like, okay, so do you want a tux or do you want a suit? I don't know. It's whatever she wants, pointing to like his girlfriend or like looking at his mom or dad, and it's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, so this is what a tux is, and this is what a suit is. So which of these would you prefer? We can get like there are different colors and both. He's like, I just want a black one, like just like no opinion whatsoever. And I'm
Like
like,
I just want to go to this party with my girlfriend, and this is what they said I had to wear.
yes. And I'm like, please just pick something. Because once they, Ari, you have plans too? So I'm going to be by myself? Rude. Rude. Anyway, yeah, they just, I'm like, you literally like fully pick anything, suit, tux, whatever, fully pick anything, and then I can get you measured and fitted and we can get out of here, but you have to pick something. It is so frustrating. But other than that little
Well,
deal between the
maybe
guilty
you should
teenagers.
start looking at them and going, hmm, you look like a suit kind of guy. Why don't we try this? Lead them in a direction.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to lead them in a direction, but I also am not like super versed on men's fashion, and so I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm having naughty thoughts about what this consoling is, so I'm just gonna.
I I was not even going to speak that out loud. That was going to stay in the comments. No one was even going to know. We're that is a whole separate conversation that's going on in the chat. Mother, you are talking to me.
I'm talking to you. I do not see the chat. I do
Exactly.
not see the
I have
chat.
not made a faux outrage tag yet. um oh, I lost track of what I was saying. Oh, I'm not super well versed in men's fashion, and Mother, you should know as someone who has seen me dress before, or anyone who has seen like my Instagram, my TikTok, or anything. I like to wear fully outrageous things because
I
it
know.
is my favorite thing to do. Have you seen my hair? Have you seen my eyebrows? I like to do fully outrageous things. And so I'll look and I'm like, I don't like, I think that looks pretty good. And then I like look to the side, seeing if anyone wearing a suit can confirm or deny if I have told them a good thing. Yeah. It's so I like I'm trying to think of like the most basic thing, and I'm like, okay, this is okay, this will work. But yeah. I also met the other there the store is basically staffed by men except for one woman. And
Mhm.
I met her the other day, and we talked and we were getting along. We were talking about like piercings and talking about art and all kinds of stuff. So it's super fun. And she said that she is very glad that there's another like femme presenting person at the store because she is trying to wear her like dress clothes or whatever. She's got like some very basic dress clothes, but sometimes
Mhm.
she just wants to show up wearing like a t-shirt or something. But all of the other men that work here, full suits every day,
Because
full
it is
suits every
men's
day.
warehouse.
Exactly. And so she feels like she can't wear it. And I'm like, trust me, if I am in the building, you will not be the least dressed person in the like the least well dressed person in the room. I promise you.
You'll get better at it. I mean, they already said that you're picking it up pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think the thing that I'm concerned about now is kind of just my appearance, because I know how to ring stuff up on the register. I know how to put kids in the system for their like prom outfits. I fully know how to measure people. I think the only measurement that I have trouble with is like the hips and the waist, is like getting it at the right spot, because some people will wear their pants higher up, some people wear their pants lower down, and I have come to the conclusion that guys kind of don't know where their waist is. Because like you and me, we know the waist is like the smallest part here,
Yeah.
but a man's waist is usually lower and like a different kind of. It's yeah, and
Well,
so
men treat their waist like wherever,
yeah,
you
it's just
know,
wherever my pants
because
fit.
to me, you should wear your pants should hit the for me the waist of my pants. It cuts right across my belly button. That's where
Mm-hmm.
I like my pants to sit. Your father will never put his pants there.
Nope,
He
neither will
always
Wayne.
he always puts his pants way low, and I'm like, that's not where your waist is. Your waist is here.
Yeah,
But if he measured his waist the way I would think your waist is, then the waist measurement would be much bigger
yeah,
because they take it down below their belly.
yeah. I have an even harder time because 90% of the time I want to wear high-waisted stuff. So I wear my stuff even
Okay,
above my
what
golden
is
trousers.
Ronald? What is Ronald talking about?
Probably talking about these pants. Ooh, wearing the pants all the way down in the year of our Lord.
What you talking?
19
Oh, he's talking about wearing the across the belly button. He says you shouldn't wear them that way.
I need to go get all the StreamYard tags. I need the 5 years ago tag.
Hush, Ronald.
But it's like,
To me, that's where your waist should be.
yeah, hang on.
Not slung down below your belly, right above your pubic hair.
Ew, we should never say the word pubic. Ever. That is not happening. Okay, I've got a...
Yes, I know men wore their pants like that. I like men in the dress wear in the 1940s.
So these are my hips. The biggest part down here is your hips, like where your butt is, essentially. I wear my stuff like up here.
So do I.
Like, just like my belly button is here, and I will wear like this is where I want it to cut. Is way up here. I like high waisted stuff, and it looks like men.
See, I don't even consider that high waisted, but go ahead.
This feels high waisted because like my Titanias are like right here, so there's not much higher than I could go. But men, like if this is their hips, they'll wear their pants like right here, basically where my shirt is cutting off. They'll wear their pants right here, but the waist is actually for them is like somewhere up here. But they're wearing their pants like down here. Yeah, there's room in the pants. There's room in the pants for the things you need room from. Yeah, you are.
If you wore them at the waist, right across the belly button, you would still have room for your things. The pants are cut that way.
Yeah, the people who are making the men's pants know that you're men. They know that you have men things. Not the twinks will be mad. Wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, you just like you just need to wear them like slightly higher. And if there's not enough space there, then maybe your pants are the right size. Maybe a dress pant, but not a jean. Yeah, I was told by my managers that the jeans or that the dress pants usually wear a little bit higher than the jeans. But I feel like the children also don't know that because the children are not wearing dress pants.
Okay, so do we want to talk about our yarny crafty thoughts?
What yarny crafty thoughts?
Yeah, that's true.
I have not yarn nor crafted a single thing. I thought I was going to, and then just didn't.
Well, I'll give you a rundown of where I am, which is nowhere. But I swatched my
Donald.
I swatched my colored pencils that I got on sale from Amazon last week for $9, and I like them. I think they're a little bit more. They hit in between the Crayola colored pencils and the Prismacolors. I feel like the Prismacolor, you don't have to press as hard to get the color down on the paper, but those things, the point breaks all the time, and trying to sharpen those, you can't keep a sharp point on the Prismacolors for me.
Yeah.
But if you're filling in like a big space and you don't need to like get in those little tiny sharp corners, the Prismacolors are great. The Crayolas are fine. You do have to kind of do 2 layers on them to get a good color, which I didn't realize at first when I bought those all those years ago. And these are like somewhere in between. I cannot remember the name of them because the last ones I looked at were Sioux Color, and I didn't buy the Sioux Color. I bought the other ones, but the name of them is escaping me. But I like them. They're in between. I started coloring a picture in my Cityscapes book.
Yay.
And so I started coloring another picture with the colored pencils. And I like it, but I was like, I'm not in the mood. I got a little bit done. I mean, very little done. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not in the mood to be. I feel like with that book and like my other book where I do these, I feel like those are, I want to be artistic.
Mm-hmm.
I have to kind of focus a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
on those. And especially the cityscapes book, because you don't have a lot of the same number in one place.
Yeah.
So you really have to
You're
focus.
like hunting for it.
Yeah, I can't just take the number two pencil and then color all the number twos. I
Mm-hmm.
have to have all my colors picked out, which so I spent time doing that because I swatched all the colors first, and then I swatched what colors I want to use for the cityscapes book, because I have a separate sheet, swatch sheet for that, of this is the 24 colors that I'm using in the alcohol markers for this book.
Mm-hmm.
And right below that, I have this is the 24 colors in the colored pencils I'm using for that book. And then I
Mm-hmm.
still have room to do another set of colors for my other set of markers down below. So whichever markers I want to use, I know what colors I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I did all that. I did all that setup. I pulled out the 24 colors separately from, because it's like a set of 72 colors,
You got
pencils.
this set.
So 72 colors for $9. That's,
You're gonna be
yeah.
the envy of the daycare. 72 colored pencils? You got every color.
So I pulled out just the box that they came in is trash.
Ah!
So I cannot put them back in the box. It's not like with my markers where they're in a nice little carry thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had almost bought one of those. Have you seen those fabric rolls where you put the pencils in?
Oh, you
And
mean
you
something
roll?
that you could absolutely crochet for yourself?
Yeah, I could, but I won't. But I could, but I won't.
Of course not.
But I could.
That's how I feel about the crochet hook holders that are the rolly ones as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I could make myself one of those. I am not gonna ever.
Yeah. Especially when I could buy one on Amazon for $9.
Mhm.
So I was almost going to buy one of those, and I was like, I don't need one of those, because I was thinking of my markers, how they come in the case and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, these come in the case. I'll just leave them in the case they came in. No, that box is trash.
It's falling apart.
The trays that they are in are trash.
Ooh.
Remember when I showed you the box and I said something feels kind of squishy in here?
Mhm.
That's because half the pencils had come out of the tray and rolled to the other side of the box.
Wild.
So there are pencils on top of pencils over here, and the tray was empty over on this side.
That's like my box of cards when I was showing you my card paintings, which I need to do some more of those. When I was showing you my card paintings and the box had just disintegrated, it had just popped right open. That happened literally as I was bringing it to show you guys. I like the box was sitting on one of my one of the like end tables of the couch in the living room, and I went to pick it up and accidentally knocked it to the floor. Poof, popped right open. All the glue did not exist. Poof.
But so yeah, I did all my swatching, pulled my pencils out, and put them in a cup beside my bed. So it's ready for me to color. And then I started coloring, and I'm like, because with the cityscapes, you have to have all your colors pulled out so that you can do like number 2, and then right next to that is number 13, and then next to that is 7, and then next to that is like none of the colors are next to each other.
That is why I no longer have my Ohuhu markers, because I would do stuff where I need all of these colors. So I'm like, this is my color palette. I've got these 4 markers, and then I put them somewhere, gone. And I'm like, okay, this is my new color palette for this new project. I've got these 5 markers, gone. This is my new color palette. I've got these 3 markers. I'm not too fond of them, but this is what I got left, gone. And so I had like,
see, you move all over the place to do your stuff. All I do is I sit in my bed while I'm watching television and I color. I don't even come and sit in the office and color hardly. So my stuff doesn't get moved around much.
mm-hmm.
So but I started working on that cityscapes thing, and I was like, this just feels too artistic to me right now. I want to get back to it, but not right now. Right now, what I want to do is just color something. Yes.
Why don't you just take one marker, so you've got like your blue or whatever, and just hunt out all of the blues and like draw an outline around them, so you know that you need to color those in, and then you can color in all the blues.
I could try that. Maybe I'll try that when I get back to that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll try that.
So that was my first thought is I've got some blues over here, blues over here, blues over here. And then you do all the blues. Because going back and forth between markers, absolutely, that would make me put a book down forever. Never again.
But I like the pictures in that book, and that's why I keep trying to do things in there. But so then, and also it was a gift, and you know how I am about gifts. Got to use the gifts.
I'm
So
gonna
I
start giving
pulled,
you some wild, obnoxious gifts so that you have to use them.
so I went back to my trusty. Um. Oh, Ronald, why are you taunting me?
Oh, he posted that forever ago. I was gonna bring it up after you were done talking about
Well,
coloring.
on mine it just says 9 seconds ago.
He posted that fully forever ago, like before you started talking, like right when you started talking about coloring is when he posted that.
So I pulled out my best of 2023 book and pulled out one of those pictures that are just the pixel ones, where the mystery picture where you don't know what it is, and it's just all the squares or hexagons or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I colored that. I'm like 3/4 of the way done with that. That's why I'm not showing it today. But I'm 3/4 of the way done with it. And it's
Okay, do you see Ronald's comment? How far off are you?
10:25 a.m. Yeah, I got 10:25. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Um so maybe I was just on a delay for a second. Um Oh, see, now that comment says it was 8 minutes ago,
Mm-hmm.
where it said it was 9 seconds ago, and then it changed to 8 minutes ago.
Yeah, so yours, I think I feel like your Eevee Mux is doing this where you're like, ooh, and then, ooh. So it'll
Probably,
be lined up for a while and then kind of pause, and then line up for a while and then kind of pause.
probably. I was going to put my fancy headphones on today, and then I thought, you know what? I don't want to chance it, because if I don't use headphones, everything works fine. But I bought the fancy headphones for the stream. I don't need fancy headphones just to talk to people about insurance
Me,
claims.
I wish you had reminded me that you had those headphones yesterday because we could have tried to figure it out while we were recording stuff.
Yeah.
I can't even wear I've got my Leaf headphones somewhere in here, but I can't wear them because I've got my headphone with the leaf on it, but these are dead, and so I can't wear them. I still Wayne's headphones, which is why I've got
Yes, you
my
need to
hands.
make food because you need to eat before you run out to the airport, Ronald.
Make some oatmeal.
I don't want you driving and pass out behind the wheel because you didn't have your peanut butter and jelly oatmeal.
Exactly.
But yeah, so what I've discovered is that not discovered because I kind of knew this already, but the mystery pictures, I don't necessarily like the way the end result looks all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like I don't like very pixely games, I don't particularly like very pixely pictures either. But they are very meditative to color.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I wanted. So that's what I worked on, because they're very small spaces to color. So they're very meditative to color. It's kind of like that other, like the tropical book that I bought that I showed a
Mm-hmm.
picture from last week. All the spaces in that book, because they have the heavy black grid
Yeah.
line, all the spaces in that book, even though they're not uniformly circles or uniformly squares, they're all small.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that same effect as I do with the pixel art pictures, but I like
You
it better.
you should try doing some Zentangles. Didn't you get a Zentangle
I,
book?
I have a Zentangle book and I have never used it. I've opened it. I asked for it for Christmas. I got it, and then I was intimidated by it, and it's still sitting there.
That's your homework for today. Actually, we could do a video where we're doing Zentangles together.
All of my books that I have, because I have at least, I think at least 2 or 3 more artistic books that I asked for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm intimidated to use them.
Is the Zentangle one? This is going to be just a full episode of sidebars again. Is the Zentangle one Does it have like example? Like, does it have the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and then you fill it out in the book of
I'm
like how
not.
to do
I
it?
mean, it's a workbook where you fill it out in the book, but I'm not sure if it has like step one, step two. 'Cause I just briefly looked at it.
Yeah, we should look at that together sometime because Zentangles are really, they're meant to be super simple. Like they look complicated, but if you follow the steps to make them, they are very, very simple. Because
Hmm.
that's part of how I got started doing like henna stuff was I was doing like Zentangle doodles. And then I was like, oh, henna is basically this, but on a person.
Yeah, it's just it looks very like I don't have the creativity to come up with something to put in this block. That's even though I
Oh,
thought I wanted to do it. Once I got it, I was like, I
it's
don't.
telling you to come up with something. Zentangle has like, so you can come up with your own Zentangle, but there are also a lot of like hundreds of just set Zentangle patterns that you could follow. Why are they not? Because you
I'll
need
have
to.
to take. I'll have
Yeah,
to take another look at the
we
book.
need to look at this book. Take a look at it with me in the room, and by in the room I mean on the phone.
But I also have a handwriting book that I haven't used yet.
Ew.
I asked for that one too.
In the year of our
Well,
Lord
not
2025.
handwriting, but like a calligraphy. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I used to do calligraphy when I was like in my early 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave it up. But I used to be into it for a little while.
I low-key hate doing calligraphy. I hate like I like the act of handwriting things to the point where sometimes I will physically handwrite stuff instead of typing it. I like the act of handwriting things, but I don't like trying to make it look so neat. I don't like calligraphy. I honestly resent a little bit that you made me do so much handwriting and italics practice as a child because it was awful and terrible and I hated it. It made me so upset.
But I had to teach you how to write.
Okay, but the thing is, yeah, thank you. My handwriting actually looks pretty good now. I hated it. I hated it. Like my
Um,
handwriting is legible. Literally, that is the reason that I have to go to the farmers market early today is because they got some chalkboard signs and they specifically want me to write them because I have neat handwriting. They always ask me to write the signs because I have neat handwriting. But also,
and because people don't learn to do, because like your brothers and sisters, they didn't even have handwriting in school. By the time we got to fifth grade, they were teaching us how to do cursive. They never learned how to do it. That's why I had to do the handwriting to make sure all of y'all learned how to do it.
I hate it. I hate it. And my handwriting does look good, especially like compared to Wayne. Whenever Wayne writes stuff, I'm like, it took me years to be able to decipher his handwriting. So now
I'm
he'll
sorry
write
I look
stuff.
crazy, but my back
Yeah, what are
hurts.
you? Okay.
I'm trying to stretch out this one section of my back.
But his handwriting, like he'll write something down, and other people will be like, "What does this?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're not versed. You don't know." And I like have to read it because like, he has handwriting like a doctor.
But yeah, so I don't understand these people who manage to get four pictures a week done
That is
on their
wild.
coloring. Because I mean, I technically I did work on like 3 or 4 different things because I swatched all of my 72 pencils,
Mm-hmm.
and then I swatched because I didn't just swatch them. I printed out one of these swatch charts. Kalor, that's the kind of pencils I have. Kalour.
Okay.
As I mentioned that chart, I saw the name across the top of it in my brain.
Mm.
Um, and the only chart that I could find that I didn't pay for, because I don't feel like I want to pay $2 to somebody on Etsy to give me
For
a
a swatch
chart
chart.
with all the names on it and the numbers. So I found a free one for the 180 set. And
Mm-hmm.
for some, I don't understand. This is the other thing I don't understand. I don't understand why these people who make markers and colored pencils,
Don't
you
just send
have,
it with the swatch thing.
well, sometimes a hoo will send you a swatch thing,
Oh, okay.
which is nice.
I didn't get a swatch thing.
Most of mine came with a swatch thing, which I promptly lost. But anyway, but the Color didn't come with a swatch, with a swatch card or a swatch page. But also, I don't understand, and this is across all the ones that I've used so far, where you have, say, a red,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And in the 72 set, the number for the red is 014. But
Mm-hmm.
then in the 180 set, the number for the red is 333. Why do you have, they're the same red. They are,
Are they the same red?
yes, they are. They're the same red. But you
Wild.
have different numbers. Why?
Wild.
Why? And I found that on most of the things. So that was the thing that I was doing. That's what took most of my time when I was
Was
swatching
rewriting all the numbers.
because I printed the 180 because I was able to get it for free and it
Mm-hmm.
at least had names on it. So I had a start. And then I would find the name for my pencil. And then I would write down the number because the number they have was not the same number
Mm-hmm.
as my pencil. So I'd write my number out to the side. And then there was about either 8 or 10 pencils that were not on that list at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to swatch those on the back of the sheet. So that took me 2 evenings doing that.
The way I would definitely just take a pencil on a blank sheet of printer paper and just scribble and write a number, and then scribble and then write a number.
And I could have done that, but then I would have wrote all the names and blah, blah, blah. And,
All the names, just write the number.
I just like to have the names with the numbers
Mm-hmm.
because like when I know it's crazy, but like when I look at my coloring books and they say, oh, we want you to use a yellowish orange.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't
want,
realize the color books list them like that.
yeah, then I want to pick the one that says yellow. I mean, I want to at least start with the one in my kit that says yellowish orange. Now, if it doesn't look yellowish orange, I may go to a different color,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll start with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of pick my colors out by name instead of just looking at the color and going, is that the color you want? So, but other than that, the only other thing I've worked on is I have off and on worked on, I finally finished untangling all that yarn. And so I've been working on my scrap blanket.
You want to come untangle some of my yarn?
Haha.
It's a wreck.
So yeah, all I've been working on is the scrap blanket, and I'm supposed to get 2.5 inches for this first section. So I'm about 1 inch in, and just like I was last week.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really done much work on this because this is the kind of thing that I feel like I should save for, like when I'm sitting here with you and we're talking. This is the perfect thing where I don't have to count.
Quick, bless me before my soul escapes.
God bless you.
Thank you. That's fully not my joke. That's a joke from Gallivant.
But this is the perfect thing to work on while we are talking and chatting, and I don't have to look at a pattern and I don't have to count or anything. So
that's why I made so many of those bags. The what is her name? Stephanie Zed or Christina Zed? I think it's Stephanie Zed. The market bags that Kelsey makes.
Mm-hmm.
I know that her last name is Zed. I just can never remember her first name. I think it's Stephanie Zed. But that's why I made so many. I think I have like 8 of those bags now. That's why I made so many of those bags, because if I wasn't sure what to work on or like I don't know what to do, I'll just start making a bag because I had it in my head. And thank you, Ronald. It is Stephanie Zed. I made so many of them because they're so easy to make. And the pattern is so easy to memorize. Like so easy.
Easy for you, maybe.
I promise you it's so easy. Like literally there are only there are like 3 numbers that you have to keep in your head. 3 numbers total. Back with oats, and posted a photo in Discord. Ooh, let me see. But it's so easy. I recommend going to look at her pattern, but essentially, because I mostly made the small ones. I made 2 of the large ones, but those take an eternity and make me want to rip all the yarn out and start over. So I didn't make any more of those, but it's literally you chain 21, you do 6 rows of single crochet going back over that. So it'll be 20, like 6 rows of single crochet 20, and then you chain 5, single crochet into the next one, chain 5 singles. So you'll have 5 like loops, and then you just chain 5 and go back into the next loop, and you just keep doing chain 5 into the loops
Oh
until you get up.
no.
It's so easy. What are you doing? What? Oh no! What are you doing?
I think she's frozen.
I'm
My
not frozen.
my battery, I got the pop-up saying my battery was about to die, so I went to plug my device in,
The
and I think
audacity of
that
her saying that I'm
confused any
frozen when
looks.
she looks like she's on a phone from 2002. I'm frozen. Wild. Not the peanut butter and jelly oatmeal.
Oh no, she's really gone.
That's a very aesthetic. Yeah. She's, I
It's
mean,
me.
it
It's
is
all
you.
me.
It is you, mother.
Oh no.
Also, the idea of peanut butter and jelly oatmeal,
So
gross.
is
That
she
picture,
there and I'm
very
just not
aesthetic.
seeing her, Ronald?
She's not seeing me. Tell her to leave and come back, please. Let me post something in private chat. Hopefully she'll see it.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Do I need to restart?
Restart. Just leave and come back, woman. I also sent her
Oh
a
no.
message. So
So
we're
I
both
just
here. She
can't
just
see
can't
her.
see
Is that
me.
what it is?
Thank you.
All right. Well, I will leave momentarily and come back.
Yeah, because I could see in her wild. Not, and I can hear her in the background. Absolutely wild. But like I was saying, the idea of peanut butter and jelly oatmeal, gross. That picture makes it look delicious. I know that I hate jelly. I hate oatmeal. Peanut butter is the only appetizing thing in that situation there for me. But that picture looks good. Mother, can you hear me now? You're in the background, but can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Can you see
Yeah.
me? Am I here?
See, the thing was, I could see you. I'm going to switch us because I hate when I look like I'm not looking at you whatsoever. At least I'm kind of looking in the direction here. But the thing was, I could hear you the whole time, and I was talking the whole time. You couldn't hear me.
You were totally frozen. On my
Absolutely, I was not. Never been frozen a day in my life. My name is not Elsa.
Well, yeah, because I try to let my so that the battery doesn't burn out. Conventional
Yeah,
wisdom used to be that you should at
you
least
leave it plugged
not
up.
not keep it plugged up all the time. That you should let it run, let the battery run down some. So I try to let the battery run down, and then when the message pops up that the battery's low, I plug it in over here. And when the message popped up, I plugged it in, and Evie Muck said no.
Mm,
No, no.
wild.
Said no, no, no.
Well, that is all of because I have not crocheted a single thing. I have not drawn a single thing.
Oh, look at! I'm just now looking at the oatmeal.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It does look
It
good.
looks almost edible.
Almost edible. Listen
It
to
looks
this.
good. I don't like jelly and I don't like oatmeal. We have an oatmeal person at the farmer's market. I can't remember their business name. I'll maybe put it in something later. But we have an oatmeal person at the farmer's market who like gives out samples, and he tried multiple times to give me samples, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know that your stuff is good. People buy it all the time. I am so picky. Please go ask Lori and Michelle that I'm not like her, like trying to pull whatever on you. I am just so picky, and I'm so sorry about that. Because he's tried to get me to try stuff. We've got a grits guy who's asked me multiple times, and I'm like, I am so picky. And he's like, oh, I know you're picky. Picky people love my stuff too. And I'm like, you don't understand. I cannot explain to
What
you.
is he trying to give you? Little bags of grits, or is he trying to give you a prepared bowl of grits?
It's a prepared little sample in like a little, like, you know, the little paper cups that you get at like the dentist where they give you like a good mouthwash. It's like little cups like that, and it's like a little prepared, and it's warm and everything. It's a little prepared thing of grits, and the oatmeal guy does the same thing. And I'm like, I am so sorry. I know, like I said, I know your stuff is good. People buy it all the time. I trust you. I cannot eat that. I am so picky. I cannot eat that. I
See,
am
don't
like,
call yourself picky. Just say you have sensory issues, which is what the kids say these
I
days.
need to,
You have
yeah.
sensory issues and you can't eat stuff like
If
oatmeal
it's
and grits.
if it's a younger person, I'll say sensory issues. But I think I have in my head that if I say sensory issues to an old person, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're just one of those youths that are using the youth words." And I'm like, no. If I have a mushy thing in my mouth, I will vomit. Please don't do this to me.
Oh, poor thing. Because I was about to say, if they were giving you little packets of grits and oatmeal, you can bring those right on home.
Oh yeah, I'll get you some. I'll make a little what's it called?
Gift basket.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I have the coffee and my brain is still, I've had most of my coffee. And there's a shot of espresso in here and I'm still just, I think the coffee has woken up my body. So I have the energy and stuff, but my brain is still like, you didn't sleep at all last night.
Oh, see, coffee does just the opposite to me. The coffee wakes up my brain, and so I feel like I want to do stuff, and my body is like, if you don't sit your ass down.
No, I feel like I can feel it. I can feel the coffee in my body, but my brain is still like, you're trying to think of what word now? No,
Mm-mm.
absolutely not.
My other thought that I have before we move off of the yarny, crafty thoughts is I was once again watching people doing the granny square all in one,
Mm-hmm.
and this other woman was doing one because apparently some other bougie yarn maker has made a $50 skein.
I mean, that
A $50 skein that makes like
granny squares.
20 granny squares.
I mean, honestly, because that's like, if she's an individual maker as opposed to Lion Brand who has full like machinery and stuff for this, if she's an individual maker making knockoff
I
granny
don't know.
square all at once.
I don't know if it's an individual maker.
Ronald says, Danny, why do we watch all the same videos? Yeah, y'all are
I
linked
know.
up.
We are Ronald and I have the same algorithm.
Y'all are linked up.
I
Meanwhile, I'm getting all
swear.
these videos about keto.
I swear. YouTube looks at Ronald's thing and says, "Oh yeah, let's take his stuff and just recommend it to her too, because they're going to want to watch the same stuff."
Ooh, Ronald says, I watched this. I tried to shop for this yarn and I could not find it even on the producer's site. So, I mean, I guess her video's working. It must have sold out.
But the video I was watching, she wasn't the maker of the yarn. She bought it at her yarn store. So anyway, but I was watching her, and the first thing she said, or one of the first things she said was, I looked at the instructions on the label or whatever, and this is not how I make my granny square. And I once again had the thought, was there some sort of meeting that I missed about how to make a granny square? Because when I make a granny square, I don't do, maybe that's the problem. That's the problem. I am a strict pattern follower. It does not matter that I have made at least 100 granny squares in my lifetime. I will still look at the pattern
and follow the pattern.
Follow the pattern for how to make the granny square. I do not have committed to my memory how to make the granny square. As far as it goes is, like, if I'm making a project that is made of granny squares, I'll make the first granny square, and then by the time I get halfway through the second granny square, I kind of remember how to do it, so I don't have to keep looking back at the pattern. But then once that project is done, when I move on to a new project, I have already forgotten all this granny square stuff over here, and I am looking at the pattern again.
Yes.
And doing what the pattern told me. I don't have anything in my head of, this is how I make my granny square. I don't have a my granny square.
Oh, well, like, my thing is, if you do have your granny square, say I'm the person that's making this yarn, I'm making the granny square all in one, and then you decide to use my granny square all in one yarn to make it. I did not label this Dani's granny square all in one. It is Artemis's granny square all in one, so you make my granny square. I made it for me. If it's like if it's not your granny square, that's because I don't know you.
Exactly.
I'm not making your granny square. I made it for me the way that I make my granny squares. Like, what?
But it's just, I've heard so many people say, this is not how I make my granny square, which means they see a project made out of granny squares and they go, oh, this is made out of granny squares. And they immediately just start making and don't ever look any further in the pattern. They look at the
Like,
picture and just start.
Check, maybe.
They just look at the picture and start because they know how to make a granny square. I know in theory how a granny square is made, but I'm not going to try to make one off the top of my head. I'm going to look at the paper because I'm not going to remember how to do it.
I'm like Ronald. Ronald says I'm very flexible in how to make one. I don't have just one way to make it. That's why I'm so successful with the granny square all-in-one. I flip and switch and change on the fly to make it work. That's how I am with the pattern. If I follow like my bandana pattern or like any other patterns or like little ones that I have that I can kind of memorize easily, I will make it once the way that it's written down. Because like, unlike you, because you usually will like make a thing once and then don't tend to make a lot of them. Yeah. I will make a thing once I understand how the pattern functions, then I will change and I want this to be longer. I want this to be shorter. I want this to be tighter. I want this. I don't like the way this is written. I will rewrite it for myself. I will rearrange things. Like, I will make it once the way that you had told me that you make this thing. Okay, I understand how your pattern functions, and now I'm going to do it the way that I want it.
Mm-mm. It has taken me up to this big age of 58 to almost get a little bit comfortable with changing things. I mean, like for instance, this is totally not yarny stuff, but like, we buy these dumplings from these frozen dumplings from the store, and the way they suggest if you're going to make them in the microwave is basically put them in a bowl, cover it with water, put it in the microwave. And I make them that way, but I don't really like it that way because the noodles get all floppy, but it's easier than trying to fry them in a pan and all this other stuff. And I don't have a steamer basket because the other instruction on there is if you have a steamer basket. Oh, Ronald, you're so sweet. It's so nice. Even though I just yesterday was doing my hair and got a good look at my hair right here and realized, oh, I really do have gray hair.
I wish that it was because I remember when I was younger, you would, the full sidebar. I remember when I was younger that you said that when you went gray, you wish that you would get a skunk stripe. And I also wish that you had a skunk stripe. I wish that for you.
There is a section, which you can't see it on camera, but there is a section I discovered that like right here, there's a nice clump right here of gray. And I was like, first of all, I wish you weren't hidden under there. And second of all, I wish I had more of it to clump together.
I mean, if you did a cute little side part, it wouldn't be hidden under there.
I usually do. I used to, let me rephrase that. I used to part my hair on the side. When I straightened my hair, I used to part my hair on the side. But these days, I pretty much go down the middle. But I might try parting it on the side.
I hate a middle part. I only do middle parts now because I've got the mohawk. But even when I do part my hair, like when I have a full head of hair and I part my hair, I part it where am I? Where are my hands? I will part it like basically right here, like just inside of where I cut it. I will part it like right there. So when I straighten my hair when it's in the mohawk, I'll just flop it over because that's basically where my side part is anyway.
Yeah, I might try. I haven't done a side part in a minute. Maybe I'll do a side part next time I do my hair.
Also, pause before you say anything else. Ronald, you should make videos about how you do your granny squares, about how to do a like tips and tricks granny square video, because I bet that would go off. With as many people that are doing these granny square all-in-ones, I bet it would go off. Do it. And we'll promote it. We'll talk about that video all day, every day. We'll say, welcome to the conversation chair. Don't forget to check out Ronald's video about how to do the granny square all-in-one. Now let's see what we're drinking.
Which I need to make more use of my, because like I said, I made 2 granny squares out of that granny square all-in-one. And
I mean, y'all saw what I did with mine. I made 4 squares and then turned it into a hat. I said, I am done with these granny squares. I like the granny stitch. I don't like making granny squares because granny squares immediately imply that I'm going to be sewing something together, and I don't want to. I do not want to.
My only other yarny thing is that I don't know if you remember this, because I was cleaning out, I was trying to declutter, And I had one of these, and I have a lot of boxes around that have stuff in, and I had a box
Same.
that I was intending to use as like when I make stuff as a gift to somebody, but I don't know who to give it to just yet. Just a random box of
Mm-hmm.
stuff that I've made ahead just in case like a baby shower comes up or whatever. And I had made this, you have already seen it. I had made this for a relative. And then
Wow says cannot be out here sewing in these streets.
I made this for a relative, and then
Yeah.
I waited too long to try to get the address and mail it and whatever, and the baby is too big now. But remember, I made this.
Yes, it's so tiny.
Remember, I made this,
Yes. And the
and
camera does not know what color it wants to
for
be.
the mother, I made a matching
Yes.
bandana because I wanted to use up the yarn. So I used up the whole skein of yarn making the bandana and
That looks
the
neon
baby
in this
sweater.
camera.
This is Red Heart Super Saver Grape Fizz.
Grape fizz. Okay.
Grape Fizz is the color. I like the color a lot. So
Yeah, she made it forever ago, Ronald. It's if I'm not mistaken, is that the baby sweater pattern that you like, the 1 hour baby sweater that you do, or is
yeah,
that what
this is the 5 hour baby sweater.
5 hour baby sweater? Yeah,
This is a knitting pattern. This is the 5 hour baby sweater. This is like my
go to.
go-to. This is my go-to if there's a baby. The baby is either 2 or 3. Very funny, Ronald. The baby is either 2 or 3, and they're not people that I have contact with a lot. So when I happen to see the baby, I realize, oh, this is too small. I waited too long. So I came across it again when I was cleaning the other day, and I was like, I need to do something with this. What am I going to do? And then it occurred to me, I'm going to Terry's, and Terry knows everybody in all their business. So
So
I'm like,
Terry would know somebody with a baby.
is somebody in your neighborhood having a baby girl?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, my parents, her parents, her parents used to live in Michigan. They're older and need people to watch over them, but they still live independently. So they moved down here, and they're like within walking distance, really, like 3 houses around the corner, and there they are of her house. So you can walk to their house. And their landlord that they're renting from is having a baby. Is having
Ooh,
a baby girl that's due in May.
cute, perfect
So,
timing.
so I'm gonna take this over to Terry's. It's like I don't know if they were planning to give a gift, but I've got something they can add to it.
Mm-hmm.
Add some newborn diapers to this, and you got a gift.
You got a gift package.
You
Ooh,
got a gift
I
package.
wonder. Do you think that would be a good thing to make? Because you said there is a crochet version of that 5 hour sweater, isn't there? I feel like you told me that before.
I honestly don't know.
Well, I'll look it up. But do you think that would be a good like gift pack to make? So I have a friend. Full sidebar again. I have a friend that for a while was making like it would be a Kindle sleeve, and then like a book went with it, and then like a couple other things, and it was like a like give this to your reader friend, like a reader gift basket. If I made a baby sweater, the matching bandana, and then just like put some diapers in a pack, and like somebody who's having a baby, here's a baby like gift package, like maybe put a lovey in there as well, like a toy or something.
Oh, you mean like to put on your table to sell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a good baby shower bundle.
I might do that because I also have something else that I it's from another vendor who was like,
Ronald.
that's knit. It only takes 5 hours to make something with knitting. I still haven't finished it. Ronald. But I stole an idea from another vendor who definitely was like, no, use this idea. Definitely use this idea. But I have, so when Party City was closing, we had a bunch of Disney sticker books. Mm-hmm. And so I got like so many of those sticker books, like the 101 Dalmatians. I think one of them was Lion King. One of them was maybe Aladdin or something. It was maybe Mickey Mouse. I don't remember. But I was thinking I have like the Lion King one. I could crochet a little lion with it to be Simba. And then you give the book and you have the Simba from the book. Like you have the stuffed animal and the book to go with it as like a little package. So I have those. I'm trying to think of more like little package things because I feel like those would sell fairly well once I like kind of get them together.
Yeah.
And so I want to I didn't know if the baby thing would be like, would you want to find something more personal, or or would people
No,
consider
I
it all?
think that's for a newborn baby. That's a very good, yeah. Or you could make a baby blanket and put some diapers with it. Yeah, I know you hear the word blanket and you go, but really a baby blanket is not very big.
The problem is I learned how to make baby blankets from how you make baby blankets, and you make baby blankets big. And so I want to make them
Oh, that
enormous.
is true. That is true.
When
Because
I see,
I tend to make a baby blanket for those who are watching. I tend to make a baby blanket. I don't make the newborn size like most people make. I make a size that the kid can still use when they're two.
yes.
So that you have this blanket for a while. So that when you're first laying that, because I always have the vision in my head of, because we were not, well off people when we had babies. We're not necessarily well off now. But anyway, I remember laying a blanket down on the floor. And it wasn't just me, people that we were friends with in our peer group did the same thing. They would lay so that the baby is not on the bed and rolls off the bed while you've got to go
Mm-hmm.
into the kitchen right quick and get a bottle or something. You put a blanket on the floor and lay the
AKA
baby on the
how
floor.
I broke my arm when I was like 4.
Yep.
That is fully how I broke my arm when I was 4. There was one of the cousins is babysitting me, and I like rolled off the bed and broke my arm.
I think you were younger than 4 though.
Was I younger than 4?
You
I
were
don't.
younger than 4 because it was before the twins came along. So you were
Oh
younger
yeah,
than
I had to be younger than 4.
you were younger than 4.
So like 3, 2,
You were still young enough that you could fall off the bed and
and break my arm.
not have the awareness that, oh, this is the edge of the bed, maybe I should watch out. So you might have been 2.
Mm.
But yeah, you fell off the bed. So yeah, the people we knew would lay a big blanket on the floor and let the kid lay on that blanket while you're watching TV or while you're running to the bathroom
Mm.
right quick or whatever. And when the kid's learning to roll over, they roll over on this blanket on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I always make a big blanket when I'm making a blanket to give somebody so that it will last a while, because those little baby shower blankets are not gonna.
The last time I tried to make a baby blanket following a baby blanket pattern, and it
Mhm.
said, okay, now finish off and weave in your ends. And I'm like, this is a washcloth. This is a washcloth. It is so small.
But the only other thing is that if you do make those small newbornish size blankets, they still work well for covering a car seat. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you are putting a kid in the car seat and it's winter, you want to throw a blanket over them right quick in the car seat. Those are good for the car seat even after the kid gets bigger.
Okay. Okay. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make some baby. Let's see. I can make a sweater in like femme and mask colors, depending, and then a baby
Mhm.
blanket, and then just buy a pack of newborn diapers. Throw some diapers in there. Should
Yep.
I? How many diapers would be enough that it would justify? Like, am I throwing 3 diapers in there? Am I throwing a whole pack of? If I'm throwing a whole pack of Huggies in there, because diapers aren't cheap, are they?
Your diapers are kind of expensive, but like the smallest pack you can find.
Yeah.
Or I would say like throw a blanket and 10 diapers in there just to,
This is
so
like a
that you
little.
have this emergency reserve of diapers in the car.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That way you could buy a pack and split the pack up.
Okay. I will think about this because I've got some yarn that I want to like. I want to
And
start doing
I wanted to
puppetry.
address Ronald's thing about it only takes 5 hours to make something with knitting. It takes me longer to make that sweater. I would say I've never really timed myself, or I haven't timed myself in a while, and I think I'm slower than I used to be. But I would say conservatively, because 9 times out of 10, I usually add a hood as well, because there is a pattern that somebody made for adding the hood to the sweater. So it typically takes me about 10 hours. So I'm sure if you are a very good knitter, it probably would take somebody 5 hours. Just not me. Just kind of like with the 6 day star blanket. It may take somebody 6 days, not me.
Yeah, I feel like if I could knit at the speed that I crochet, I could maybe knock out the sweater in. I'd probably say maybe 7 hours, like 6 or 7 hours. I just timed myself. Well, it was like accidentally timing myself because when
Hmm.
I went to the DMV the other day with that whole debacle,
Hmm.
I started one of those Stephanie Zed bags, and it was a small version. Bye, Ronald.
Bye, Ronald.
Drive safe.
Well, he's
But when
going to
I
take a shower.
Well, he's going to take a shower and then he needs to go pick up his bow thing, doesn't he? Or drive
He
his maybe.
does. He does.
But I started when I first got to the DMV. I started one of those Stephanie Zed mesh market bags that I keep making,
Uh
and
huh.
I finished it basically right before they called me up to take my picture and do all my paperwork and stuff. So with accidentally timing myself, it took me about 4 hours to make that bag because I was doing literally nothing else but making that bag.
Hmm.
And that is so much longer than I thought that it was taking me. Like I was thinking, I was in my head thinking, oh, these take like 2 hours or something to make.
Hmm.
And so then when I sat down and was doing nothing but making the bag,
Hmm.
wow, that's so much longer. So I'm gonna have to charge more than what I wanted to charge for it. Because I was thinking I was gonna do like, I was thinking I was gonna do
Are you
like,
laughing at me?
yes.
I was trying not to do that on camera, but that's the way I always do it. It's just easier.
Why do you not just use your hand?
Because I don't want to have to put the needles down and then try to do all this and then pick the needles back up. It's just easier to just.
Okay.
It's my blanket. Nobody else is gonna have it, so it's got my
You
cooties on it. It's all right.
You look like in the old cartoons when someone's eating an ear of corn, like um,
Okay,
but
we've got 30 minutes. Do we want to go into our media consumption?
yes, and I have something that I definitely want to talk about, and then we can talk about everything else. But I want to talk about this while it's absolutely fresh on my mind. I'm not going to
Okay.
say literally too much about it, but Wayne and I, because Wayne and I love watching horror movies together. So since we
Mhm.
both had the day off yesterday, we sat down and watched a horror movie on Hulu called Mr. Crockett. And it is it caught my eye because the main like character was black, and I was like, "What is this?" And it was a almost entirely black cast. I think there were only like three white people in that movie. It was an almost entirely black or POC cast because there was an Asian girl.
Mhm.
But it was so good. It was like it was good. You could tell like it was definitely the kind of horror movie where you're like, oh, this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen, and you can like kind of see where it's gonna go. But there was enough of weird stuff that I was like, no, I would definitely watch this again. It was so good. So the plot of the movie is essentially there is think of like a TV show that combines Mr. Rogers and Barney, where there's
Uh-huh.
like this character person. So he's a person like Mr. Rogers, but like kids come in and he's like, what are we gonna play today, kids? And like, let's look at the clock. And like, so he like is talking to the kids in kind of the way that Barney would, but he's like a person and has like a
Mhm.
house kind of set like Mr. Rogers. And
Mhm.
he's a black man with the like, I'm trying to think, like the Steve Harvey mustache, the really bushy
Yeah.
like mustache.
Yeah.
And but basically like it'll be like kids in like a bad situation. Like I'll explain just the first child because that happens in the first like 10 minutes of the movie. So this kid is like watching the Mr. Crockett VHS, and then his stepdad is like, boy, it's time to come over here and eat. And so he goes over to the table, and the mom is like nervous, like trying not to agitate anything, but clearly her new husband is like kind of abusive and like has problems. And so the kid like eats a little bit and then is just kind of playing with his peas, and he's like, why aren't you gonna eat the vegetables? And he's like, I'm full. And he's like, we work all damn day, blah 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 blah, and like yelling at him. He's like, you're gonna eat these vegetables. And he gets up and like is trying to force feed him. And then all of a sudden it pans over to the TV, and you see Mr. Crockett is like, so they're like over here, right? They're like over
Uh-huh.
here on the side. And Mr. Crockett is like, blah, 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 and having a good day, and blah. And then he starts yelling. He's like, on the TV goes, like, looks over to them
Oh
on the TV.
no.
Yes. And then you see like he like it gets up to start trying to force feed him, and the wife is like, stop, you can't keep treating him like this. And he's like, no, you don't tell me what to do, I'm the man in this house, blah blah blah. And so she storms off into the bedroom because she's like, and she's crying, she's like, what do I do, trying to figure out how to like help her son but also not like obviously get beat by her husband, because I think that's the implication there. And then all of a sudden you see the VHS, you see the VCR, the little VHS door flicks open, and you just see these pair of eyes right in the VHS
Oh
thing.
Lord.
Yes, and then you see it cuts to the side, and you see his hand coming out of the VHS, and he like crawls out, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Crockett like comes out. So he is this monster that like when kids are in a like bad situation, like you can see later in the movie that what Mr. Crockett defines as a bad situation might not be, because he's not all there. And so, but when kids are in a bad situation, the VHS will just poof appear at their house. It's like one of those, you know, the like free library things where it's like a little house shaped box, and you like open the door and there's books. So there's books in there, but there's this Mr. Crockett like sing along VHS. And so the kids will start watching the VHS, and that's how he kind of like watches them. And then he'll come out, but he definitely like that stepfather did not make it. He did not make it. Like without getting too graphic and gory, Mr. Crockett's like, well, how about we feed you this? And then this plate of like rotted meat and worms and like hair and all kinds of stuff appears on the table. He's like, why don't you take a bite? And he picks it up and he holds it. And he's like, I'm not eating that shit. I can't eat that shit. And he's like, okay, well, we'll go straight to the source. And he like puts the plate directly into his stomach. Like this man does not make it.
Oh no.
But it's about this, but the main story follows this woman, Summer, who her husband, and from all accounts, like no one ever said that her husband was bad, just her husband passes away. And so she's trying to raise her son, who is the villain of this movie. Her son is a hellion. Like we started watching and I'm like, okay, so maybe he just doesn't understand that his father's passed away. And I'm like, okay, well maybe this boy is like autistic and doesn't quite like, is like having trouble understanding anything. And then like the more we go, it's like, no, this is just a bad child. This is a bad child.
Seed.
This is just a bad child. And so she literally comes out at one point and she's like, between trying to raise you and going to work and trying to pay for the house, I don't know what I'm going to do. So and you see her come out multiple times in the classic Tiana, I'm working as a waitress in a diner uniform. But she does not have a good, like, I'm getting severance 9 to 5, we get days off kind of job. And so she is trying to do this, and the whole time he is like being an absolute hellion. And so at one point, the Mr. Crockett VHS appears at their house, and I need to stop going so much into it. They get the Mr. Crockett video, but she's not being a bad mother. She is trying to save her son. So that is the plot of that movie. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it so much, even knowing, like, even kind of guessing and knowing where the plot points were going to go. It was a great movie, and primarily black cast, so that's fun.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe you should put the link or at least the name of it in the.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. I will put the name of it because it's on Hulu, and it might be on a couple other places. But I know we watched it.
I can tell you, I'm not watching it because I don't watch horror.
I know.
But it sounds interesting. The premise sounds interesting.
Yes.
I just don't watch horror.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew you weren't gonna watch it, but if anybody else is checking this out, it's a good movie.
Okay, well, my most recent interesting thing is a creator on TikTok and YouTube called Shauna the Mom, and Shauna the Mom is new to me. There's not a lot of videos, so I don't think she's been doing it for very long. And I went to her website to where she had started doing it, and then just as she was starting to take off, she had like she was hit with breast cancer, and so she went through the whole breast cancer thing.
Can we back up? Yes. What did she do? Sorry, Wayne brought me my battery pack and I was saying goodbye. What did she do?
Shauna the Mom. I was getting to that.
Oh, okay. I thought I missed it. Sorry, no. Continue.
She had a video go viral, and then before she could really capitalize on that and make a bunch more videos, she was dealing with cancer, and so she went through all of that, and now she's on the other side of that, and she is she's making videos again, and it seems like this time around some people are really discovering her on TikTok, because I started seeing, like, as usual, I see the people. I saw like maybe one of her videos, and then I saw the people
Like
who say,
reacting.
"Oh, this Shauna the Mom saga. Let me tell you,
Aga.
I think this is what's going on, and this and this and this and that and that and that." And so then that's when I went and I found that she was on YouTube. I like when they're on YouTube because then they have the whole compilation, and I
Yes.
can watch the whole compilation. Um, but even the ones on YouTube, I don't always see like her early videos that she did. The compilations on YouTube are like her current saga thing that she's doing. She was
Mm-hmm.
playing a slightly different character in her early videos, I think. But basically, it's one of those like Hell's Bells
Yeah.
or Cafe Latte, where it's one actress who plays all of the characters,
Yeah.
right? And just she does a good job, because because I forget sometimes that she is just her,
Mm-hmm.
because she, unlike some of the other people like Cafe Latte or Hell's Bells, she wears wigs.
Ooh, love it.
So she has a different wig for like every character, and all the male characters wear backwards baseball caps
Of course.
and hoodies, and all the female characters have different wigs, and
Mm-hmm.
she does different voices.
Ooh, nice.
And so she does a good job. But basically, the setup of her situation is that Shauna has been married to her husband for 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and her husband has the mom, his dad, who barely talks, and his sister, who is a bit self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been married 10 years. They have two kids, like a 5-year old and like maybe a 3-year old or whatever. She plays all of these on camera. And her husband's mother, I think her husband's name is John. The husband's mother is, like, I would say, a narcissist, maybe,
Okay.
because she thinks everything is about her.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is about her, and she does everything she can to put down Shauna, because she twists everything around to where nothing is her fault. Everything is her kid's fault, and it uh, it's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting.
That makes me think of that lady in that video that we watched yesterday. Ooh.
It's just interesting. And there was a whole anniversary thing and a birthday thing, but just look up Shauna the Mom on YouTube. I don't want to give it away, because if you go watch it, it doesn't take that long to watch, and if you go watch it, you'll be like, "What? She did what?"
How do you spell Shauna? Shauna?
Shawna.
Okay. You were double.
Did you turn your volume down?
I keep muting myself because Wayne's Uber is here and the dog doesn't want
Oh,
anyone in the vicinity of the house.
but yeah, Shauna the Mom is one of those things that those are my current obsession. Is I like
Mm-hmm.
these creators who are good actors, who just do the whole skit thing and can do a really compelling story. And so I have to keep reminding myself, this is fiction, and this is one woman doing
Yeah.
all these characters, because the children, I cannot stand the children.
Ooh.
The children are annoying to me. And I think it's just another example of the fact that I I don't know how I ended up to be a mother of 4 children, because I don't like children.
I don't either.
I don't like children.
I don't understand either. I do like children, but like that's why I do things like face painting and stuff where I can like sit, I'll talk to you for like 5 minutes and then I send you off with your parent and I never have to deal with you again.
No, I just, some of the uh
Yeah.
you'll see if you watch some of it. It's like, oh, this child is annoying. And I have to remind myself, okay, it's just a child being a child, but the child is annoying.
Yeah. I mean, that's better than that child in Mr. Crockett. Cause like there's child being a child, and then there's you need to chill out right now. Absolutely wild. I
Okay,
think
any other? You want to talk about that radio FM drama?
yes, I can't remember if it was called Radio FM or it's one of those drama things, but it's one of the mini drama like things that they put out. I literally, it was like 3 days ago. I took a nap, fell asleep, like listening to YouTube videos, and then woke up in like part way through this commercial. And so I was just kind of listening to it, waiting for my show to come back on. And then it didn't. This commercial was like an hour long, fully just like the commercial. And it was one of those radio drama. So I'm just gonna tell you the full plot because you don't like you can look it up, but good luck. I'll explain why in a minute. But basically, this woman is
It was a short drama. You said radio drama. It's a short drama.
Thank you. It's a short drama, and basically, this woman, um, it's a classic like Cinderella story of like I'm the daughter, my mother has died, and so my husband remarries, and she's terrible, and so and she has a stepsister, and so basically when she was younger, the main character's stepmother like threw boiling water or something on her face and disfigured cheese and crackers, disfigured her because she was prettier than her own daughter. And she was like, I'm not having that. And then this like rumor started spreading that she was like that the girl was cursed, and that if you ever saw her face, then you would die, and blah blah. So she wears this like
Phantom of the Opera.
Thank you. I'm telling you, my brain is not keeping up with what is going on right now. But wears this Phantom of the Opera mask and stays literally like locked up in her room. Like her family does not let her out. And so there is this gala going on because her dad is like, does some kind of business and needs other people to show up and help with business things. So he has this gala, and one of the most well-known, you leaving?
Yeah. I put oil in the car.
Okay.
So they're handling business over there.
Yes. So basically he has this gala, and then this like well-known, like super rich, obviously handsome man, but he's got like dark secrets or whatever, shows up at the party. Yeah, shows up at the party, and he's like, I want to talk to all these little bitties that are trying to marry me. So he goes out to the grounds, like out into the garden, and the girl, they did not feed her, so she goes down out to the grounds trying to like scout out one of the servants or something, is literally just trying to get food, runs into him, and they like meet up, and she's like, I don't like you, whatever. It's the classic, like, he's rich, she doesn't like him, he wants to like marry her. Essentially, they make a pact that he's gonna marry her to get her out of this shitty life that she's in, and then he also won't have all of these like these little girls trying to marry him because he doesn't want to marry any of these girls. He like just wants to do his business. Which,
did we even explain what a short drama is?
It's like a soap opera on steroids. It is like a soap opera with everything fully cranked up, and it is because they have to pack everything into the length of like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It is so short, and it's usually done in snippets of like a minute and a half, 2 minutes of like, you'll see a snippet of the story, and then you'll start the next snippet. Stop!
They're on these apps like Flick Reel and Drama Box and Real Drama and all this other kind of stuff. They're on all these different apps, and basically you pay like $20 a week for a subscription. Because I looked up Flick Reel, it's $20 a week. $20 a week for a subscription, and so you end up, and you have to pay, because for a subscription you get these certain amount of coins or whatever the in-app currency is, and so for each episode you have to pay like 5 coins per episode. The episode is like 1 minute to half a minute, and so you end up paying $30-$40 to watch this whole 1 hour movie if you watch it through the app.
We need to get into the business of short dramas.
And then
drifting.
And so they're way expensive. So there is a big, well, not big, but it's not too terribly hard to find one or two of these dramas compiled and then put together as a movie on one of these sites like Daily Motion, or sometimes you'll find a torrent for them or whatever, because most people are like, you go on Reddit and you'll find all these people going, I am not paying this much for this short drama.
Okay, so the thing is, you can normally find them like that. That was the whole point of telling the story, was I went to look this one up because I watched the full hour and then it cuts off in a way that I'm like, is this the end? It doesn't feel like the end. So I go to look it up.
Because despite the fact that these are so cheesy, you watch them and you go, I mean, if Ari's still on, Ari watched one that I sent him.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch them, they are cheesy as all get out, and yet
you're like, how can this get any crazier?
You want to watch it. It's like it's like a palate cleanser. It's a fun diversion between your normal, regular, high quality shows.
Yes.
But you don't want to pay $30 for it.
No.
It's not that good.
But I went to look this one up because it felt like it wasn't really at the end of the commercial that I was watching, because it was literally an ad on YouTube, and I was like, I hope I don't accidentally click away from this because I'll never find it again. So I went to look it up, and it was called like the Baron's Masked Bride or something like that. And so I looked it up, and I could not find the exact one that I was watching, because in the ad it was American actors using their actual voices, and you could hear their voices. It lined up. The story looked like it made sense and everything. But then when I went to look it up, and I specifically typed in like the Baron's Masked Bride, Radio FM, blah, 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 like trying to find more specifics to find it. But everyone that I found, there were like dozens of versions of it, but half of them had AI voices telling the story. Half of them, like, there was one that I saw where like the mother character was a fully different like actress, and they were just showing like pictures. They were just showing pictures of it, of like, this person's talking now, so here's a picture of their face. This person's talking now, so here's a picture of her face. And it was from the video that I watched. Ridiculous. Yes, it was from the video that I watched. So pictures of like the actress that played the girl in the mask, it was her picture from that video. But then like they're not showing the whole video, and it was so wild. And there were some that like the story changed, and so they were doing different things. And it was someone like, it was so wild. There are so many people like stealing the video and doing like the same story over and over, I guess, to get their own like money from it or whatever. It's so wild. So I could never find the original. I couldn't find it.
And they hook you just enough that you want to know how it ended, even if it is kind of cheesy. And to be honest, excuse me, because I know these companies have their own expenses. Like I said, I read an article about this a while back, and they have their own little studios.
Yeah, they're filming whole things.
And they have their actors that they run through there. Because if you go to the website like Flick Reels, there's one guy in one drama that I watch, and he's an older guy. They don't usually have the older guys in there. He's an older guy about my age, and he's kind of cute. And I went to Flick Reels, and he's in a bunch of them. There's one called Love After 50, and I'm like,
wild.
And I would watch if they had like some sort of subscription, because honestly, I pay $20 some for Netflix for us to be able to have it on 3 different TVs.
Yeah, because we can't even use the Netflix anymore. Before you were doing Netflix and then all of us kids could use it, we can't even use it anymore.
But still, I'm paying $20 some, and we can at least have it on 3 different screens. I'm not paying $20, and that's for a month. I'm not paying $20 for a week of Flick Reels, and they don't even tell you, because I can't find anywhere. I did a deep search yesterday. They tell you how much the plan is. They don't tell you how much you get with that plan.
Yeah.
They don't tell you, like, am I able to watch a whole story in a week with this $20? You know, I still wouldn't pay it. I mean, if I could pay, say, $10 or $15 in a month and then just watch what I want to watch, I would pay $10, watch 2 stories, and then cancel my subscription, and then maybe come back another time and do it again. You know, if like, because they advertise these stories to you on TikTok and they really grab you enough that I would throw them $10 for a month and watch that story, and then come back in another couple months when I see another ad and throw them another $10.
But I'm not. You're getting and $20 for a week.
$20 for a week, and there's no guarantee because it doesn't tell you how many of the in-app coins you get. There's no guarantee that I can watch a whole movie.
Also, just who charges by the week? Who
out of coloring apps
charges? Huh?
Digital coloring apps charge you by the week. Yeah, they charge you $20 a week, $15 to $20 a week to unlock all the pictures in the digital coloring app. That's part of what turned me off, because I used to remember before I was doing actual coloring for a while, I was doing digital coloring, but the pictures that I really like were always behind the paywall, and they want a monthly subscription or a weekly subscription. I'm like, are you crazy? Everything has gone to subscription, and coloring to me is not worth a subscription.
This dog is driving me crazy today. I don't know what's going on with her.
It is 12:30.
Maybe that's what's going on with her. She knows I need to leave. Ma'am, stop. Move.
It's time for us to get out of here.
We do have to get out of here. I don't have any rock music, so we're just going to keep it at this. If you enjoyed what we're doing, give us a like. If you have anything you want us to talk about, do you watch horror movies? Have you crocheted anything? What do you think about my idea to sell the baby sweater and baby blanket and what is this? A baby sweater, baby blanket, and some diapers. How do you feel about that? Leave a comment. And if you want to support us and know when we're going to be going live, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live, so you can be here and you can chat with Ari and Ronald, and Junie was here for 2 minutes, and everybody. And I think we're done.
I think we're done.